So hello everyone, I'm Akash and I welcome you to this new video on the channel. And in this video I'm going to talk about the CSS Custom Properties. So this video is all about the custom properties of CSS and how you can create it and why you should start using the CSS custom properties. So this video is all about that. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first of all, here as you can see I have this index.html page created here, and I have linked my CSS file here, and I have one paragraph inside this body and another paragraph inside this division. So now I'm going to show you how you can create a custom property. So in CSS we usually have these predefined properties that are like font size and other properties like text, align and all those. So text, align, so these are the predefined properties. I have not set these properties, so I cannot write like this. So it is like text hyphen alig. So this is wrong, as it is going to show me an error because this is not a valid property. So it is going to tell that it is an unknown property because these properties are predefined and you have to write in the same way that they are meant to be. So you cannot do anything like this, so it is not valid. So these are the predefined properties that the CSS provides. So the custom properties that I'm talking about are not like you are creating a whole different property for setting the value for the font size. So you are just creating a property like this, that is dash dash, and you have to set the font size. So I'm going to give here the name as size, so font then size, and colon I'm going to give it as 50 pixels. So this is how you can create a custom property. So this is the name of it and this is the value. So this you have defined. So this doesn't mean that the fonts that are there in your body are going to be of size 50. So no, that is not going to happen. You have to assign these values to the original properties, to the predefined properties like this one. So you have to set the size here. So to use this custom property that you have created here in your original predefined property, then you just have to write one function, that is where, and then brackets. So this is a function, and then within these brackets you just have to write the name of the property, that is this one. So this whole thing is going to be replaced by this 50 pixels. So that's it. This is how you can create your custom properties. So now let's run this. So this is the output for this file. So as we have written this inside the body, so the font size is applied on both, and if I write div and then p, then it is just going to be applied on the second paragraph, and the first paragraph is as it is. So this is how you can create your custom properties. Now there are some other things also, so I'm going to talk about them as well. Now there is a pseudo class, that is root, and what this root is, that it represents your whole document. So usually if you want to define any of the custom properties, then you can do that here in this root, and that can be available for the whole document. So this represents the scope for the whole document. So now let's create a custom property for font size, and let's give it 30 pixels, and let's create another for, let's say, background color. So I'm going to write bg color, and I'm going to set it as, let's say, red. Okay, so this is for the background color, and this is for the font size. And so now I want to use these properties on my paragraph tag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write p, and then I'm going to write the font size property. This is the default property, and I'm going to write where, and then the name of the property. Okay, so this is done. Let's check. Okay, so this is the output here. So now let's do the same for the background color. So background color, and I'm going to set it as where dash dash and bg color. Let's save it and let's run this. So as you can see, it is applied on both of these, as I have just used here the P as the selector, so it is getting applied on both of them. Now what I want to do is I just want to apply the color property, that is the font color, for this second paragraph, and I want to change the font color to white. So let's do that. So I'm going to write div and then p. Okay, so here I'm going to create another custom property. So I'm going to write font color, and then I want it as white. Okay, so done. Now I'm going to write the default color property, then where, and font color. Okay, let's run this. So as you can see, this is just applied on this second paragraph. So now what if I want to use this in my first paragraph also? So you must say that, okay, I can write the color property here, and I can write where, and then write dash dash font color, and let's save it. Let's run this, and it's not changing. So why it's not changing? So it's not changing because the scope for this one is just valid for this block, and you cannot use that in any other block other than this block. So this is how the scoping of these custom properties work. Now whatever you specify in this block, that is this root block, then you can use any of the custom properties that are defined here in any of the documents elements. That can be a div, p, whatever element that is, you can use those custom properties that are defined here in those. And now if I cut it from here and paste it here, and let's save it, let's run this. As you can see, now the first paragraph also has the font color as white. So this is how you can use the scoping thing with the custom properties. So now what is the use for this custom properties? So the main use for this custom property is when you want to repeat any property in different places of your page. So if you have defined a specific color or font size for, let's say, your first section of your page, and you want to use that in your fourth and fifth section, or maybe your last section, or whatever, in some different page, then you have to go back onto wherever you have defined that, and you have to copy that hex code for that color, and you have to copy the size. So if you don't want to do that again and again, then this is where the custom property comes into picture. So you just define this for once, and then just you have to remember this property name, and then you can use it in different blocks of your elements. That can be a different div or different section. Wherever you want to use that, you can use it there by just specifying the name for that, and you don't have to remember the hex for any color, or you don't have to remember any other property also. You can use these for creating any other properties as well. So these are not just for the size and color. You can use any word here, and you can use it for any different properties that are there available for the CSS. So that is the advantage for using the custom properties. So this small little thing will make your workflow a lot more faster. So this is the advantage for this custom properties. And there is another thing that you can do with this custom property. So that is you can use a function that is cal. So that is for the calculation purposes. So let me show you what that does. So here is that function. So let's say you have the font size property here defined, and you want to add 10 pixels or let's say 20 pixels in your default font size that you have defined here in this root block. So you want the size as 50. So you can add the 20 pixels into this defaultly whatever you have specified in this section. So you can do that using this calc function. So you have to write this function, and then after you have to write the name for that variable, that is font size, and then you can write it as plus 20 px and close. Let's save this, let's run it, and as you can see, this is now of 50 pixels. So this is how you can do that, and you can use any other operator also. So you can minus 20 pixels. So as you can see here, the font sizes are now a lot smaller, and you can use multiplication also and division as well. So this is how you can use all those operators also. So this is the use of this cal function. Okay, so a lot of you might say that you can do this using Sass also. So yeah, you can do this using Sass, and you can do a lot more using Sass, but by default, if the CSS provides this kind of thing and you don't want to use Sass in your project for some reason, then you can use these custom properties, and it is a lot useful for me, as I have to use many of the properties repeatedly. So this if I use in my projects, then it makes it a lot easier. So this is the CSS custom properties. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. So if you did, then click on that thumbs up button, and if you want to see more of these videos, then click on that red subscribe button down below. And that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.